and buenos dias, GnGs, buenos noches, buenos tardes. Um, it is getting late and I'm tired. It's been a long day. I am Trekkw2ks and welcome to Weekend Crypto. If you don't know, the basic idea is I cover weekend related crypto news between Friday and like Sunday. Pop it out Monday morning at the 08 time if this is your first time hearing about this segment. Again, I'm Trekkw2ks. I don't know why, but like I'm X amount of tired right now, and yeah, I didn't feel like having to deal with the whole setup for my other equipment stuff, and I've been working on my van all day, so like that just took it out of me. But nonetheless, before I get into the stories, let me say I do appreciate the folks who are checking in. Elbin, oh God, yo, I'm bad at the names right now, but I appreciate y'all for coming through, for checking out, what I'm saying as it relates to these events that happen during the weekend. And something's always happening. Sometimes it's an X amount of like, speculative FUD talk crap. And then sometimes you have stuff like what's been going on for the last like, weekend change. Like this fallout stuff from the whole SVB situation and the other financial institutions and just the economy and government stuff in general. So this first story I'm gonna end up jumping into is about what Venezuela is doing right now with overhauling their whole national crypto program. So the short of it is this: the person who used to head it, which is this guy named Joselet Ramirez, basically got arrested at some point in some situation that happened last week. Well, yeah, technically last week. And so now the new person, or who at least is going to be the new head person, is a lady by the name of Annabelle. I don't even know how to pronounce her last name, but the middle name, sorry. The last name is Fernandez. She basically comes from what would be the Venezuelan equivalent of the FDIC. There's no real breakdown on why she was chosen. There's no real clarity on, what happened to Ramirez, that he got arrested, but there are a number of little things floating around in allegations. I'm going to say that I bring this up on the end of considering what's going on here in the States, considering what's going on over in Europe. Maybe somebody might have been in a conversation or two and he was making out ahead of the rest of the gang. And then somebody found out. I don't know. Or the idea of them overhauling it is maybe they're actually going to take it more serious and look at the, not Costa Rica, damn, I cannot remember the name of the country right now, but it's down there in Latin America, and actually try to do something that is more in line with their model and how they're approaching the crypto space. I don't know. This is a very short article that really doesn't say much because apparently much wasn't put out from the Venezuelan government. But if anybody got people down there, yo, comments is open. I would definitely appreciate somebody giving some extra detail and insight in a more underground kind of perspective. If you got family, friends, whatever, you just came from down that way, hey, definitely share or find me on Twitter, DM me. I'm definitely curious about this particular thing. And like I said, it don't really say much or nothing. Jumping into this next story, this joint right here is funny. So internal war breaks out at DeFi Lambda as rogue, quote, employees reject token plan. Now, what ends up happening, at least the way this article is breaking it down, is that one of the employees of DeFi Lambda basically went and forked off his own thing. Now, the irony of how they break it down in here is that they say the going rogue. And here's the thing that gets me about that. Like, when did forking what is supposed to be a openly available access, which then brings a question of, are we seeing a change in the mindset about forking? And forking being like a, hey, if you want to do a project or a blockchain service a different way, like just go off and do what you're going to do. this article doesn't really, I would say the way it's written, really parse or like clear that line up. But it more so, it more so notes that, all right. So this article kind of, it doesn't really touch on the issue of, hey, like this space literally started off of people forking the original coin protocol. So that's Bitcoin, that's Litecoin, that's Ethereum. Um, I forget when what you call it comes into play, but the point being is that that's how we got to where we are right now in the space. That someone said, oh, I want to do it this way. And then other people agreed with them and went and they had their community and they grew it and it matured and blah, blah, blah. But the other thing that comes into question with this is the whole thing about having a token. And I've been on a thing or two, and I've always said to people, like, if you do this whole your own token thing, now you're going to get into the whole, like, it sounds cool, especially if you're saying that you're, like, actually trying to have the token have utility and stuff. Then it's a ball and chain kind of thing where, like, it's the golden handcuffs, basically. You think, hey, this is going to allow us to expand and do X, Y, and Z, which it's arguably a wealth extraction tool with pulling wealth out of the community. Because that's the part that a lot of the fly-by-night folks, the pump and dump folks, you make the token for the project, or you come up with your own thing, and then you're getting people to give you an asset that you'll convert out into another asset that you can use as a founder or as like the core people and get other what you consider to be more sustainable or more valuable assets outside of that ecosystem, outside of that project that you and your team or co-founders created. So like, it makes me wonder about this. Now, granted, I haven't messed with DeFi Lambda. Just happened to see the article, but if some of y'all are out there involved in it, definitely like hit me in the comment, hit me in the DM. Like again, we don't delete, we keep receipts. So if there's some really good stuff going on with this, and this person, you know, okay, what is it, 0x, not gonna make it. If they really just like are the quote lone wolf and they shouldn't have did this because the project was great as it is, say it in the comment. I mean, I don't necessarily agree with always having a token for shit, but it is what it is. So that's the third thing that happened. So yeah, and there's not really much to say about this other than yo, here's what's funny though. I'm sorry, I just thought about this last part. What was it? They are hosting this person is hosting the forked platform as Lamify, and it's just like, bruh, like just name it something different. Like now you looking like you still trying to ride the coattail, or you bit the hand that fed you, and now you're gonna turn around and do that. Like what? Anywho, yeah, like it isn't really much to say other than this is happening right now. So I don't know. Does this signal a change in how we're looking at forks happening in the space, as well as, you know, how is this going to play out come next year when the halvening happens, right? Is this going to be a good thing or is it going to be a bad thing? Are they going to get some community legs? I don't know. Oh no, that wasn't a son. This is the other story that I wanted to jump to, which was, no, this wasn't actually it. Sorry, hold on. Give me a second to find the story. This was the one. There we go. My bad, y'all. So Bitcoin ATM maker GeneralBytes shuts down its cloud service after hacker identifies vulnerability. Now, basically what happens, I'm going to give you the TLDR part right here, these two bullet points. A hacker identified a security vulnerability in GeneralBytes Bitcoin ATMs, which enabled them to read and decrypt API keys. The company issued a high severity security incident warning and patch on its Confluence page. It is also shutting down its cloud service. I thought about something, it made me wonder something on that particular point. The basic idea was they were able to go in to the Bitcoin ATM's configuration files pretty much, and then like mess around with the back end to do things like read and decrypt API keys and being able to get access to the hot wallets and to the exchanges. So, one, this is one of those like, did they do it themselves and then go back and tell the company? And then did GeneralBytes pay out a bounty for this bit of information? Or was it like, oh, gee, thanks. All right, like we're going to go on and move on, about our way? I would hope not. But then the other thing that gets me is, how is it that this just got found out? Like, they're not a new company, y'all. It isn't like they just got here in 21, you know what I'm saying, or friggin' 20. They've been here for a minute. So I'm actually kind of surprised that this was just found out. And yeah, and then they had another situation last year. So I don't know, like, I'm not saying inside story, but it is kind of interesting to me that this particular one is just coming to light as a vulnerability issue. So if you are in the mining, well, not the mining, but in the ATM space, I imagine, you need to start checking your things just to make sure. I don't know who you have as your backend or who's your vendor. Oh, this is the other part that got me about this, that the issue was being able to access through the ATMs to get to the cloud service. So is it that there's another vulnerability or some other potential issue, pardon me, in the cloud that they're not saying just yet? I don't know, but it also made it just kind of, I'm kind of, what else is going on here in this that they're not saying? I don't know, but these are a couple of the things that happened over the weekend. There's another thing that happened with Russia doing some more regulation about how they're going to push out the whole digital assets and who's having what thing. But I'm sorry, I didn't get to run through that article. But these are the three things that I got. Nonetheless, what is it? I'm at the conclusion of this. I'm sorry, I'm tired, y'all. Basic thing is, as I say, be in a safe space and be in a safe place, in a safe space, and good company. It's a Monday, so hopefully you have a productive or a busy weekend. But if not, again, safe space, in a safe place, with good company, and that's the best thing I could wish as a human being. And I will see y'all, if not in the comments on the live stream, for King and Zay at 10. I'll catch y'all next Monday, man, on this Weekend Crypto. Anywho, I'm Trekkw2ks. 1.